If you like gingerbread or other sweet goodies, you're in the right place. The hosts are Shabby Meets Bling, Crafting with Andy Jones, and Up All Night DIY. Links to all the hosts and the playlist will be in the description box. For this DIY, I want to make some really cute coasters. I found this silicone mold in a Dollar Tree Plus area. I really like this hexagon shape, and this was the only one they had. I would have liked to at least had two because I want to make a set of 4 so I could get them done quicker. I have various little sweets that I found on Amazon that I want to set in the resin. I've got my acrylic painters and then the resin and hardener from Amazon. So I've got 4 gingerbread men. So this one I'm going to go ahead and get him completed. So once I remove the mold from the packaging, I do a dry fit to see about how I want to have my faux sweets set up and how many faux sweets I'm going to exactly add. And then I take my resin and hardener. This is the first time I'm using this brand. And it's pretty much the same setup as the previous resin I've used, where you just mix equal parts of your resin and your epoxy hardener, and you mix them and put them in let them set for a few minutes and then pour them into your mold. And I want to get a nice layer of the resin mixture, and then I start adding all of my faux sweets in, and I'm picking out some of the faux sprinkles, some little tiny little gifts, and I add little Santa faces, and I kind of press them down into the resin because they start to float up. And then some little faux larger faux sweets, like a little lifesaver heart, a little twisty like marshmallow type thing, and then a little gummy bear, and then I add a couple of little Santa face sprinkles. And then I set this aside to harden. It takes 24 hours for each piece to fully cure. So with me wanting to make a set of 4, it'll be 4 days for me to get the full set complete. Okay, so I have 4 coasters. This one hasn't cured enough for me to take it out of the mold. I don't want to mess it up, but just to flip it over, you can see how it's the little bits that I've added into it. And here's the very first one. Guess what? I put my gingerbread man in upside down. So maybe I'll make this one a Christmas ornament. I'll drill a hole and maybe make this one a Christmas ornament. But these 2 I did on the correct side. So you can see there's a little lip in here, and that's where your drink will sit down. But overall, I am really happy with the way these turned out. It's my first time using one of these large molds and adding things inside, so I'm happy with the way they turned out. You know, it's a learning process, and I think they're really adorable with the cute little gingies and the pieces of candy. Very much a sweet Christmas DIY. Okay, for this DIY, I have a couple packs of Play-Doh air clay that I found at Dollar Tree. Christmas tree cakes from Little Debbie, the famous Christmas tree cakes, and a 6-pack of Dollar Tree cookie cutters. So these cakes are iconic and they're super delicious. They have a chocolate version, and they even have a Little Debbie ice cream right now. So I thought it would be so cute to make faux Christmas tree cakes with this air dry clay, and then maybe a couple of faux cookies. There's a gingerbread man, and then this present is kind of cute. So we'll make a plate of faux treats. This clay is extremely light, and when it dries, it has like a foam-like texture, and right now it's kind of like marshmallowy, but it's not like regular air dry clay. With all my cookies and cakes cut out, I'll leave these to dry in front of a fan for about 5 hours, and then we can decorate. So with everything dry, I'll start with my Little Debbie cakes, and I have a red puff paint from Dollar Tree to add my lines in a slant the way they appear on the front of the box. And then I also have green glass beads to add as sprinkles. For the gingerbread, I have Real Brown, an indoor-outdoor gloss from Apple Barrel. And initially, I started to apply it with a makeup sponge because the surface was so smooth, and this clay is basically like a foam, that I thought that I wouldn't be able to paint onto it. Like the brush strokes would really be noticeable, but I didn't like the look of the sponge, so I did end up finishing with a paintbrush. And then for my faux sugar cookies, I'm using light mocha. I usually mix this with antique white, but I'm out of antique white. So I thought it'd be okay just to use the light mocha by itself, but I wasn't happy with the look. So I mixed a little bit of just the plain matte white Apple Barrel just to lighten it up a bit. And that really made it look more like a sugar cookie than just that light mocha by itself. And then once the paint dried, I took a 3D white puff paint to add to the sugar cookies so it would really look more realistic, like a frosting had been spread onto the cookies. So now it's time to finish the tree cakes and the gingerbread cookies. I found this large glitter that I was considering using since I have this tacky glue, and I just wasn't confident that the glass beads would be held on to this foam type material with the tacky glue. So just trying it out on the smaller trees. I want to see the difference in the glitter and the glass beads, and so I used tacky glue on both of the smaller pieces, and I did like the way the glitter looked. but the beads did match the actual visual of the cakes better. So then I decided I remembered that I had that Fix-All that Dollar Tree sells, their permanent glue. And so I just added the Fix-All onto my larger trees and then sprinkled my glass beads on top of that, because since it's permanent hold, I know that the beads won't fall off. And then I'm using several different colors of puff paint to decorate all three of my gingerbread men. So I'll add my stripes with this red puff paint for my candy cane, and I'll use green puff paint to add some ribbon trim onto my gift, and then sprinkle holographic glitter onto both to give a sugared effect. Looks good enough to eat, but you might end up in the ER. Let me know, what do you think of these faux treats? I think they came out so cute. For this DIY, we're going to make a faux cake. So I've got a block of the floral foam, 2.9 by 3.9 from Dollar Tree, cameo pink paint, lightweight spackling DAP brand from Home Depot, the new gingerbread shapes, some faux gummies, and my faux candies from Amazon. So I'll get started by mixing up some faux cream to spread all over this so we have a nice pretty pink frosting. Okay, so I'll just insert this in the bottom just so I can hold it better while I'm applying. With the frosting complete, I start to add candies to each side of the cake. Okay, so I have two gingerbread men that I mixed some dark brown and white together to get this lighter brown, and then some extra foam pieces that I had cut out, and I painted these with seashell pink. So I want to add these to my cake. So I did add a few pieces of candy to the top of the cake, but I thought it would be nicer to have cookies, faux cookies on top, and then all of the faux candies wrapped around all the sides of the cake. So to add my cookie toppers, I pressed them down firmly into the faux frosting, and once everything was completely dry, I just picked them up and added a bit of hot glue so they would be secure if anyone were to touch this. I don't want anything just falling off. And then I took a plastic bag and cut one of the corners off, put a little frosting tip from Dollar Tree in, scooped in some faux whip I had left over from a previous DIY. I just wanted to add a little bit of a frosting touch to each of the corners. The first bag split, so I repeated that process again, and then I finally did get it to work. And I just added a dollop in each corner just to get that kind of fancy look from the lines that the frosting tips have once the cream comes through. And I thought that was just a really cute little added touch, and that was it for my faux cake. And here is my completed faux gingerbread and candy cake. It's so sweet, so cute. Let me know, what do you think about it? And here's another look at my other faux sweets from this DIY. These were so much fun to make. I hope you've enjoyed what I presented for you today. And don't forget that there is a playlist. I'll have a link to the hosts and the playlist in the description box. Have a blessed day.